Hi, Scott here. Hope you're going well. Okay, so the markets are moving on. What are we into Thursday now? There's a few things lining up today, I hope. A few things looking pretty good. So we'll get stuck into the charts and I'll show you what I'm seeing. See if it lines up with what you're seeing. Okay, so here we are. Start off with Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD. So Aussie CAD, we've had this line being rejected, but it kept trying and kind of broke through yesterday. Maybe not. Depends where you draw your resistance line. But there's definitely some kind of resistance here. But if we look at, firstly, is it overbought? There's no MACD, right? There's no slowing down of momentum on the daily. And it's kind of at, yeah, it's just touching overbought. So it's a bit of a negative. If we go to the hourly chart, we can see that the MACD has been recharged. It comes down below the zero line and back up pretty strongly. And since then, the MACD has been okay. So the momentum is still increasing. Higher highs for the MACD, higher highs with the price action. So this, I believe, is a valid pip snatcher. Again, it's not ideal trading into these highs on the daily, but depending how aggressive you are, that could be a valid pip snatcher. So I kind of like that one. Had this MACD have been dropping off significantly, it'd definitely be a no. But I believe that it's still got momentum, so that could play out later today. Let's go to Swiss yen. Right, so we've had this bounce off this strong level, which was strong because we've had a bounce here, bounce here, bounce here and here. So rejected again to the upside. Went up to this level, which we looked at yesterday, and it's rejecting this level now. And it's kind of done a bearish high test and looking for some more downward action today. So we look at the 1 hour chart. We can see it tested the daily 20, daily 50, rejected it quite nicely. Actually went through the 4 hour 50 to get there. Now it's broken back down below. Now there's a few yen pairs that have a similar kind of price pattern. So the fibs don't line up yet. Hopefully this will keep going down during the day and then pull back and give us a nice looking IBO. If it pulls back now, the fibs don't really line up because the pivots, which are based on yesterday's price action, which is what we base our fib on pretty much at the moment, lines up with the daily pivot and not with 1 hour 50. So it pulls down to about here somewhere, pulls back. That could give us a nice IBO short. And that'll be an IBO B. We've got no trend change on the 4 hour. We can see that. Not really been a trend change on the 1 hour. We should get lower lows. If it pulls down and pulls back, lower lows here. So the lower low. And the setup will be the lower high, but it won't be proven, of course, until we're in the trade. So IBOB. So there's a few yens, like I say, which are looking very similar. So we go to Euro Yen next. Again, we've got rejection of this level here, which is also the daily 20 and daily 50. Nice high test yesterday. And that's looking really nice for a short day today. On the 1 hour chart, we've just broken the 1 hour and the 4 hour. Just little, a very small amount, not enough. Obviously, the fibs don't line up, so we couldn't take that as an IBO short. But we do have the 4 hour 50 lining up very well with the 1 hour 50 here. So if we get a nice pull down to here somewhere, that should be a little bit lower, to about here, and a pull back, then that could be a nice CBO in this case. Got the 4 hour 50 sitting here as well. 1 hour 50 will go down slowly, slightly. The 4 hour 50 will probably stay about the same. But that could be a very nice CBO. Of course, CBO we can tighten the stop, which should be nice. And then we can take this down to maybe these lows. So Euro Yen is probably the best looking, potentially, if we get this pull down and a pull back. Let's go to pound dollar. Pound dollar, we've had rejection this line here, but a bullish day yesterday. Now, the reason I've got a DDP up today is the MACD is showing continual momentum to the upside. There's no signs of it pulling back yet. The RSI is looking very overbought, but not quite oversold, not quite in overbought territory yet. So some indicators telling us that it can go higher. I just noticed the weekly 50 here. We're just playing with that right now, so that's probably why it's stalling this level, as well as having a pretty good SR line, support resistance line. So positives and negatives. Let's go and look at the hourly chart, and we can see that we've rejected the 4-hour 50, broken cleanly above the 1-hour 50. We kind of had a break and retest last night, late in the US session, but it's gone a little bit higher and pulling back again. It could be probably a better IBO entry. Very few people would have managed to get in on this entry because it was so quick. So this could be a nice little IBO, lines up well with the fib, and in that case we could then have a long trade from here. Even also for a pip snatcher as well. Pip snatcher still looks good. You have the 4-hour 50 before your stop as well on the pip snatcher, so that'd be nice. So pip snatcher is a good option, which will fit in here quite nicely before these highs. Or you could just take the ACBB. ACBB because 4-hour 50 is behind us, not in front of us with an IBO. So that could be an ACBB lining up for later. Let's look at dollar yen, see what that gives us. Similar to the other yen pairs, rejecting a level. Looking to go more bearish action today. Nice little high test and a bit of bearish action yesterday. So that's looking good. Whoops, don't want to see that one, we want to see this one. Right, so the fibs again don't really line up very well, but if we get some bearish action first and then a nice pullback to the 1-hour 50, maybe it pulls down to here somewhere, a little bit lower, pulls back, that could give us a nice little ACBB short. 4-hour 50 would be before our stop, which is good, and we can trade down to these lows. So there's a few yen pairs that could set up if the yen goes low, if they go lower first and then pull back to the 1-hour 50. Keep an eye on those. Now there's a few here which may line up later as well. We'll quickly go through those because there's some nice looking ones in there, I believe. Aussie Kiwi keeps wanting to go longer, but it never seems to do it, right? It keeps coming. I did there, here it's stalled. Now it's stalling again, this line here, which level is pretty strong. I've gone back, checked it, it's a very strong level. So maybe we're going to get some kind of reversal action today. Now on here, I haven't got these lines here to show you a wedge. I'm showing you just two trend lines. One here is acting as support for this downtrend. And this one here is going to be resistance if it changes trend to an uptrend. So we need to see high highs, high lows. We've seen neither yet. We need to see it break this trend line, break the 1-hour 50, come back, retest it. That could be a nice IBO long. And the MACD is showing us reversals up to here, kind of a resetting here, just below or just above the 0 line and then back below it again, which is giving us some positive looking momentum on the MACD to the downside. But overall, you can see the trend is up. So we won't know until we get a break above this trend line and the 1-hour 50, and that could hopefully give us an IBO long later today. Look at CAD Swiss now. Again, we've been very bearish, probably well oversold, yes. No MACD. MACD is still showing us downward momentum, but we're hitting this very strong SR line, which I've gone back and checked it, and it's pretty significant. It's stalled in there, so maybe now's a chance for it to give us a reversal. Now, what do we have here? We have trend line, which was broken last night. to the upside, and now it's acting as support. That's good. The MACD is MACD divergence, pretty strong or very strong. Looking like we are going to get some kind of trend reversal here. So we were waiting for the 1 hour 50 to break, come back, retest, IBO long. That could be a nice one for later. Euro Aussie. Okay, so we had this level here, it was rejecting. And then yesterday we had a nice high test, rejected this long trend line, which goes a long way back and still being respected. Now we're looking for some possible bearish action today. Let's see if the 1 hour supports that. Here we can see that trend line being rejected. The MACD is showing us big drop in the MACD, so that's looking like we are getting a big divergence. Looks like we get some downside action. The MACD is kind of reloading here, so maybe we'll get one more run up. When we do get a break of that 1 hour 50 and a retest, then that could be a nice IBO short. So EuroCAD. EuroCAD is on a tear to the upside. Now, I'm not sure why I've got this in there yet. Let's have a look at the weeklies on a tear as well. Monthly's almost hit the monthly 50. Pretty close, which is about there, which is not much higher at all. This is a very strong level. I've checked the level, and I'm happy with the level being very strong. MACD still got positive momentum. RSI is really overbought. So why have I got this highlighted? Good question. Okay, so we're waiting for some kind of trend reversal. The MACD supporting that. We've got lower highs on the MACD. So although the daily momentum is still positive, the hourly is negative. So we're looking for some kind of pullback, maybe just the 4 hour 50. That's break of the 1 hour 50 pullback, and that could be an IBO short. Pound-CAD. Right, Pound-CAD, we've been stalling at this level for a couple of days. It did actually have a bullish looking candle yesterday, which is a very strong level. And I'm thinking it's going to go down. The MACD is still trending higher, very overbought. Let's look at the 1 hour chart, see where I like it to go lower. 1 hour 50 is acting very strongly as support. We've now got a double top, triple top on the 1 hour. MACD is showing divergence. So when we do get a break of this 1 hour 50 and a pullback, that could be an IBO short. Again, for these ones that we're waiting for the trend to change, we need to see a trend change with lower highs, lower lows. If we're looking for a trend to change from an uptrend to a downtrend. Right, dollar CAD, last one we look at. Bullish action, lovely doji yesterday after deceleration. This level is very strong. I've checked that one. I'm happy it's a very strong level. Go back to the hourly chart. MACD dropping significantly as this has been rising. So we're looking for some bearish action. So again, waiting for it to break the 1 hour 50, pull back for the 1 hour 50, and that could be an IBO. It might even be an IBOA by the looks of that. Got the 4 hour chart. The 4 hour change of trend. It's boom. Okay, so we've got a lower low, don't have a lower high yet, but we will have a lower high when this pulls back for our setup. So yes, we do have trend change on the 4 hours, so it'll be an IBOA, which is obviously more reliable than IBOB, more in our favour. So that could be a pullback IBO short. So that's what I got for you today. Some nice looking setups, but need some development. So we have to see how they pan out. My video going to come back. Okay, video's not going to come back. Right, so yes, keep an eye on those charts. There's quite a few of them which may set up later today. Not many right this moment. By the time you see this video, there could be something coming up for you. Wish you all the best in the markets. I will see you tomorrow with my forecast. I'll see you then. If you're not a member of Pro Trader, scottprotrader.com. sign up for some free training and start learning these skills, and it'll change your life. Okay, I'll speak to you tomorrow. Take care.